Hi guys, I'm Kalemi Jungle and welcome back to another video where I knit and crochet. In today's video, as you can see behind me, I'm going to be showing you all of my favorite yarn, all of my favorite knitting tools to use and brands and all of that fun jazzy stuff. This was someone request. I'll put it here so you can see that I listen to y'all and I love y'all so much, and I'm gonna give you what you want. Okay. Now I have begun knitting in April of 2021 and I am loving the process and everything like that. Now I do crochet as well, and I started crocheting first back in 2013, but I gave it up, not officially, but I gave it up for a little while where I thought I wasn't gonna come back to it. And recently, like a few weeks ago, I said, let's start crocheting again because I really miss it. Like, the fun accessories with crocheting is like the cutest things ever. And sorry if you hear my twins in the background, they're always loud. There's nothing I can really do about that. And I appreciate you if you still continue to watch my videos. This is where I keep all of my fun knitting tools, my scissors, my stitch markers. All of that stuff is in this. Now, I have to warn you, I do have to organize it. So please forgive me because my twins got to it, of course, you know. Here is all of the fun stuff, okay? So all of the needles that I usually go to is 4.5 for my twins, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 8, 12, and 15. Those are all of the needles that I use very often on a regular basis. But the ones that's like my go-to is 6.5 and 8 mm and 12. I love those. I love those for some reason. But in my opinion, 15 mm, I feel like it's too big. And I'm going to show you. This is a 12 mm. This is for like more of like chunky yarn. And like pretty much you can use any yarn that you want on this, but it depends on what kind of look do you want for your yarn item that you're making. So say for instance, I have made this vest. Well, it's like a cardigan. I'll put a picture so you can see it. I had to use a 15 mm for that. So within that vest or cardigan that I had made, I used a 15 mm, but it looked like I used a 12 in my opinion. Right? So yeah, a 15 mm was used for that pattern that I got chosen for. I was a test knitter for that item. Now if you want to learn how to become a test knitter, comment down below and I'll make a video about that too. So yes, these two are the biggest, sorry. So yes, these two are the biggest knitting needles that I have. Okay? And I use these, I mainly use this with my chunky yarn, like Woolandthegang yarn. And it would be, so I use my 15 mm and 12 mm with this yarn here. I don't know if y'all can see that good. So I use this yarn with my 15 mm and my 12 mm yarn, depending on what type of look I want to go for. If I want like a big look or a more fitted look, I use like one of the two. And another thing is I love using circular like roundabouts, because when you're using circular needles or like the roundabout part for your knitting needles, it is so much more easier than using like a separate hook that's on its own. I can show you that as well. I also use these. Like for example, if I'm knitting up something, I don't know if you ever heard of the 3 needle bind off, where you have your circular needles with your 2 knitting needles together, and when you're casting off your one side of like a cardigan or like your sweater, and then you want to connect like each side together, you have your hook like this, right? Imagine a cardigan or a sweater, right, on both of these knitting needles. So you have hooks here and you have hooks here for the back and the front, right? For the back and the front. And then this will help you cast off and bind off at the same time, which is amazing. I use this method all of the time instead of like casting off each side and then like seaming it together. No, 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 no. Bind off your work using this method. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. It's called the 3-needle bind off, where both of your hooks from front and back is still on the side, and then you take this hook, you cast off, and you bind off at the same exact time. So you take both of the hooks, put it in between this yarn, and then you pull it off. That's your first one. You take the second part of your yarn hook, your loop. You bind it off, you cast it off, and then you take the yarn that's on here, you take the first stitch, and then you cast it off like so. And you keep doing that until you get to the end of the row, and it's going to look so clean and so pretty. I wish I could show y'all with the actual yarn, but I'm not knitting up anything right now, surprisingly. But I am going to start up something new. So that's how you do the 3-needle bind off. If you understood, I can explain it within writing more better if you really, really want to know. This is where I keep all of my markers, my stoppers, my, yeah, everything with like knitting and crocheting is in here. Now I got this from Amazon, like this plastic part I got from Amazon. And I also get all of the rest of my stitch markers and stuff from Amazon as well. I'll link everything that I have in this video down below, okay? So this is my cute stitch marker that I love. Now this is a big one, and this is like these are the regular size ones. They're so cute. These are the regular size ones, and they're just the cutest things ever. And I also have like these stoppers in here. Like say for example, let's say, for example, this is like your knitting needle and you want to stop and take a break. All you have to do is take these two cute little things here and just put it at the very edge. And it stops your work from coming off. Isn't that so cute? So yes, this stops your work from coming off and sliding off, and you never have to worry about it. But if you have a circular needle, you never have to, you just have to pull your work down. But you can still use these just to secure it. I kind of forgot to show y'all this in the beginning, but this is the single knitting needles that I had mentioned before. I like these. Now I have a whole bunch of these. I have 15, I have 8, and this is my 12. And I have like 6, I think. So with these, right? These are very, very beautiful. I can see that. Very, very beautiful, right? But these hurt my hands so badly, I cannot continue to use these. Now, I can like make them cute in my room or something like that, but I don't know what it is with these. I cannot use them. But these are really good for if you're knitting up a scarf or like a blanket, something that's flat. A hat you can even do with this too. So yeah, these are very, very cute, but for me personally, I cannot use these because they hurt my hand a lot. Maybe you can try it out and see if you like it. I really, yeah, just give it a chance. Buy one though. Don't be like me and buy like 10. Buy one and see how you like it, and if you don't like these, then you can move on to the circular needles. Because in my opinion, circular needles is the best option for you to choose when it comes to knitting. I'm just telling you that right now. So if you don't want to waste your money, buy the circular needles. Now, speaking of circular needles, I had got this from Amazon, and this was like a lot of money, but if you want to start off small, buy the ones that's in the plastic first. But now that I'm like really, really getting into this knitting world, I had got this from Amazon, and you can see some is missing that I have like unfinished knitting items that I getting it back to. But yeah, y'all, this is the beautiful knitting tools that I have decided to get. This costed like $100 and something, like $109 to be exact. But the ones that come in the plastic, it's like 30 or like 20 something or maybe 40 something, I think. I'm going to put everything down below so you can see it. So I'm not going to forget to do that. Everything's going to be in the description box below, okay? So yeah, this is called Knitter's Pride. All of my knitting needles come from this brand. I think it's something with knitting. I think it's from the same company, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it comes from the same company or like something similar to each other. So yeah, I have that. Now let's get into the yarn. And this is the very most important part because you want to make sure you're using the right yarn for the pattern or anything that you're making for yourself that you want to make. Now, with these two yarns, I mainly use this for crocheting, to be honest. Like if I'm knitting up a hat or a top. When you're crocheting, you can use acrylic yarn with no issue at all. But you can also use this with knitting too. But the feeling of this on your skin, I don't know. Like, it's okay, but I don't really like it in my opinion. I don't mind it, but it's very, very stiff in my opinion. You know, when it comes to like knitting up clothing pieces. But if you like knit up a vest, I think it's fine. But if you want like a whole sweater, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about it. But they're very, very nice. I got this from Hobbi Yarn. And this was like, this is very, very cheap yarn. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. But yeah, I got multiple colors of this. And I'm making a checkered crochet hat with like the purple and cream that I have coming. And I'm almost finished with it. But honestly, y'all, it's too big for my head. I need to make it smaller. But I'm going to just complete it because I'm at the end. Very, very ending of the hat. You know, the brim part? That's where I'm at. So, yeah. Now, for this yarn that I have showed in the beginning of the video, this yarn is so lovely with like your chunky cardigans, your overhead sweaters, your vests. I love to make these with vests because it's quick. It's even more quicker than knitting up a cardigan or a sweater, of course, because vests don't have arms. Everybody knows that. So yeah, I love to use this yarn for vests. It's very, very pretty. And yes, I love this yarn. Now, I don't really know what to do with this color, but we shall see. These two, I love. These are also, so this is from Woolandthegang as well. And this is from Weareknitters, right? Yeah, Weareknitters. And I love to make these for my scrunchies. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. You want to know how to make a scrunchie? And be a twin like me, go watch that video, okay? So yeah, I love to. Also, this is beautiful for cardigans, but in my opinion, if you want to make a cardigan using this yarn, use a 6mm. I mean, use a 6.5 mm. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna love it. And if you want like a more flowy, baggy cardigan, use an 8mm. In my opinion, because I use an 8mm. And the cardigan that I made with this, I can put a picture so you can see, it's very flowy and loose. But it's also the pattern that I followed. And when I use a 6mm, it's more fitted and closer to my body. And it hugs me and stuff like that. So that's what I recommend for this yarn. Now for this yarn, this is beautiful for like overhead sweaters and cardigan. It's okay, but in my opinion, overhead sweater is the best option that you can do for this. And I love it for overhead sweaters. It's very, very pretty for overhead sweater, you know. Now for this one, I love. This is also from Woolandthegang. And you can make a vest with this, a skirt with this, a thin top. Now this is like summertime. Fun time, summertime, honey, okay? I love this yarn because it's perfect for the summer. You won't be hot in it or anything. I'm going to crochet my cousin a skirt, and she wants a top as well because she's going away, and I cannot wait to start. So I'm going to size her because we're going to be together for Mother's Day. And yeah, so if this gets posted after Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to everyone who's a mother. And yeah, I know y'all hear my twins in the back. Yeah. Hope you have a beautiful day during your day and all that fun jazzy stuff. So yes, y'all, I can't wait to get to this. It's so fun. Now, when you have yarn like this comes in handy a lot. Now I also have a winder. I'll put a video of how I did it and stuff like that. Those two come together as well. They have many different winders, but I got the cheapest one because yeah, I'm got like that yet. So yeah, this is really good for yarn that you want to put into like a ball. Do I have? Yep. Can y'all see that? Hold on, let me take it down. So it's yarn just like this, like the yarn that I just showed you over here. Once you're finished, it's gonna look just like this. It's so pretty. Now I have something in mind for this, but I'm not too sure about it yet. Now if you're on a budget, I recommend going for acrylic yarn first. Acrylic yarn is going to be your best friend because it's cheap. It gives you a lot in bulk of the two big, the yellow and the off-white that I have showed y'all. It's going to be worth your money if you don't want to spend so much money on yarn just yet. And then, if you want to level up, I recommend going to Hobbi Yarn. Now, Hobbi Yarn is a little pricey, but not too much. You can find many different varieties of different yarns that you can, like, get into. But I recommend starting off small. Like, say if you want to knit up a sweater. So for my size, I always get 4 to 5 balls of yarn. It don't matter what type of yarn it is. That's the yarn I always need because I always do large or medium. But now that I'm losing weight, I think I'm going to stick with doing size medium, but just not yet. Now, for my advice when it comes to like knitting clothing pieces that's like close to your body, like it's hugging your body like an overhead sweater, I recommend going a size up, in my opinion, because I was going to do a medium, but I did a large instead. Now, if the item is like a loose fitting, and if you like that loose fitting, then do your correct size. But if you don't want it so loose, then go down a size. Also, gauging helps a ton. In my opinion, I don't like gauging, but it helps a lot. So I recommend doing gauging as well. Now, gauging is like, say for instance, if you have to knit if you have to cast on 10 stitches and do like 10 rows, and that's supposed to be like 4 inches wide and then 4 inches long. And if you're off, like if you come a little small, like 3 inches wide or vice versa, then that means you have to go down a size. If it's too big, then that means you have to go up a size, you know, something like that. Alright guys, so that is the end of my video. If I missed something, I'm so sorry. Just comment down below and I will answer it as well. And I hope I wasn't everywhere. I hope you explained everything that I had to say for today's video. And I hope somebody out there who wants to get into knitting and all of the fun yarn. And I can also do crocheting as well. Let me know, comment down below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.